So next up, let's take a look at the geometry on the object. Make sure that it's all polished up and ready for moving on. Once you get done with any kind of modeling, you want to make sure you take a little bit of time and prep it for the next stage. So in here we're looking around it, and let's say that we were to isolate out this section here. We've got a nice couple of pieces. We've got one piece here and then one going through. If I were to subdivide it, it's going to crush some of the detail in here. As a low poly object, it's not too bad. But let's say we subdivide it up, and we can see that we lose a lot of the detail, which simply means that we need to go in and control those edges. Let's start with something simple. We'll start with this guy here. We'll drop in our edit poly. We'll select our edges. We'll use our connect option, bump it up to 2, and push it out to the ends. And then let's select our polys on both sides. We'll do an inset and just pull it in a little bit. If you have trouble pulling it in, then just let it go wherever Max is going to let it go, and then you can just push it back out with your scale tool. There we go. So that guy is prepped and ready. So now when we subdivide him up, holds that edge all the way really nice. Now for this piece right in here, we can see that we're missing our defining edges. We could go back through. We can make these cuts. And it's not too many cuts to have to make. And it's pretty good practice when you're getting started using the tool. We'll just make our way around. There we go. Just going to go into my wireframe mode. Might seem a little bit confusing, but you'll get used to the shapes and finding your shapes. There we go. And our last one going up. Okay, that's going to help tighten up some of that shape. The other thing that we're going to need is to tighten up this edge loop going around in here. So let's go ahead and select on those, and because we're going to be going all the way through, let's go ahead and just select through it this way. Double check our selection. We look good. Now let's just chamfer those up. A little bit too much by default. We'll do 2. There we go. Now if you notice something like what's going on right here, where it's not really doing it very evenly in this area, I'm going to hit cancel on that. I'm going to go in, I'm going to reset the object's X form. I'm going to go over to my utilities, down to reset X form, reset selected. Basically it's applying an X form modifier to the object. I'm going to go ahead and collapse everything at this point. In doing so, it's going to help to reset our object. So I'm going to do a collapse all. When it does, it's going to ask, we're going to be collapsing all of this information together so we can't get back to it. So it's just making sure I want to do it. Collapsing is something that you're probably going to use a lot, and if you do, I would probably just say do not show this message again. Check on that one and click on the yes. Okay, let's go back into our edge selection, into our chamfer, and our our chamfer comes out much better that time, so we'll go ahead and click accept on that. And let's go ahead and grab these outside lines as well, back to our right view. Back to selecting each one of those. We can see we've got those selected. We probably want to grab these guys too. And let's do a little chamfer. Looks decent. We'll click OK. Check out our turbo smooth and we go, aha, we're holding our shape a lot better. We still have a little bit of funniness right in here in this corner. Notice right in here the little pinching that's happening. If we go back in, we can see that we've got some triangles going on. Subdivision doesn't really like triangles, it likes squares. So let's see, we can go this way. We can simply select on our try. Whoops. Let's see if we can show our end result there. As we show it, we can see that we've got another try on that side, so let's take that off. Let's just make a straight connection right there. That's a nice way to handle that. So we come all the way across there, and let's say we bring that guy up, and now if we take a look at it, we probably look much better. So let's just do the same thing over here. A little bit hard to see with that in the way. We're just making a straight line up, so we use our target weld again. And then we want to get rid of, let's see, we'll go down with this guy. There we go. And we got the same thing on this side. Yep. Not too surprising that we'd have the same thing over there. And we've still got an edge there, so we'll remove that one. And let's do the same thing over here. There we go. So it definitely hangs onto its shape a little bit better. And the holes definitely stay open for us, which is exactly what we want. Now, because we did most of the work on this one and not this one, let's go ahead and get rid of the one on this side and just make a copy over to the same element. We're just cloning it over. There we go, and we know that this guy was basically the same, right? So let's go ahead and make a clone of him. Stretch him out, rotate him around. Make sure that we've got him set up right. Let's pull him down. Let's pull our vertices down. There we go. We know we can get rid of that one. So now we've got that piece all set up and ready. We'll go ahead and exit out of that mode, and it looks like we've got a pretty good piece right here. So be sure to take a look through the model that you're working on, and if you find any edges that you want to clean up or to hang on to their shape a little bit more, just take a few minutes and go through it. Add some of those extra edge loops to control it, and you'll be well on your way to getting your model prepped and ready. Alright, we may do a few more little tweaks, and you can check that out in the file, but we are pretty much ready to move on to our next phase of looking at the unwrap and applying a material to the object. And we'll get started with that next.